Have you ever wondered why, despite all your achievements and the effort you put into everything you do, something inside you still feels empty? Perhaps in your life, you've experienced success, friendships, maybe even superficial relationships, but there's still something missing, a sense of wholeness, that inner power that guides you, that gives you focus and clarity. And the worst part, you feel trapped, enslaved by desires you can't control. Whether it's the need for instant gratification, the compulsive chase for validation, or the endless search for external approval, something inside you always seems to be running away from your true essence. Now, imagine a scenario where this desire energy, this immense force within you, instead of being wasted, transforms into something extraordinary. Imagine having absolute control over your energy and how it could reshape your life. How would it affect your decisions, your health, your relationships, and even your life's purpose? And most importantly, how the world begins to respond to you differently because your transmuted energy is now felt, even without words. Do you think this is impossible? That living without giving in to impulses is just a myth? Maybe you're right, if your perception is limited to what you think of as celibacy or abstinence. But what if I told you that conscious celibacy isn't about repressing desires or denying pleasure, but about transmuting your vital energy to create something you never imagined you were capable of? For thousands of years, great spiritual traditions, masters, and initiates have known a secret that's hidden in plain sight. Within you lies an energy, an invisible force that, when properly understood and used, has the power to heal diseases, change your destiny, accelerate your spiritual growth, and unlock true wisdom. This power is your vital energy, what the ancients called prana, kundalini, pneuma, or the inner fire. And what most people don't know is that we waste this energy all the time without even realizing it. Instant pleasure, sexual addiction, excessive consumption of stimuli, all these modern distractions drain your vital energy, preventing you from connecting with your true power. But here's the good news. It doesn't have to be this way. There's a way to reverse this situation, to regain control over your energy and awaken the man you truly are. The secret is the transmutation of that energy. When you choose to retain your sexual energy rather than releasing it carelessly, you're not losing anything. You're invoking a greater power, a creative force that can be redirected into any area of your life, your purpose, your health, your relationships, and, of course, your spiritual development. Now, you might be wondering, but how does this work in practice? What exactly is this conscious celibacy? And how can it really transform my life? The answer lies in the ability to control and channel your energy, not through force or repression, but through awareness. In this video, we'll explore what the ancient masters knew about this practice, how it can help restore your energetic balance, and the impact it can have on your brain, body, and even your relationships. We'll reveal how you can wisely use sexual energy to connect with yourself and create a more fulfilling and meaningful life. If you're tired of living in a cycle of fleeting pleasures and want to access real power, stick with me until the end, because what you'll learn here can change the course of your journey and the way the world perceives your presence. It's not about seeking perfection, but about taking control of your energy and starting to live with intention. This is the secret they don't want you to know. And believe me, when you understand and apply this, the world will begin to react to you in ways you never imagined. If you're feeling inspired by this vision and want to learn more about how to transform your energy and your life, subscribe to the channel. Here, we explore practices and knowledge that can shift your perspective and strengthen your journey. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next videos that will help you continue on this path of self-mastery and evolution. Now that we've introduced the concept of conscious celibacy and the power of transmuting vital energy, let's dive deeper into what exactly this energy is and how it connects with your inner fire. Have you ever felt an inexplicable sense of exhaustion, as if you were drained, even when you didn't physically do anything to feel that way. Have you ever wondered why, despite all your achievements and success, something still feels missing? This feeling isn't just physical, but something deeper. It's the lack of connection to your true vital energy. Inside every human being, there exists a primordial energy that sustains us. This energy is not just biological, but spiritual, a life force that permeates our being. This is the energy that gets us out of bed every morning, that drives us to create, evolve, and pursue our goals. In yogic tradition, this energy is called prana. In Taoism, it's called dijing. In some Christian traditions, it's described as the divine breath, and in medieval alchemy, it's referred to as the inner fire. But no matter what name we give it, it carries the same essence, a vital energy that is the fuel of life. Imagine this energy as a flame, a sacred fire burning inside you. From the moment you were born, this fire has been your most powerful ally. It's an inexhaustible source of creativity, motivation, and potential. However, most of us waste this energy without even realizing it. Every time you give in to an impulsive urge or surrender to instant gratification, you waste a little bit of that flame. And over time, if we don't learn to retain and channel it, it fades, leaving only emptiness. Modern society lives in a constant state of distraction. We are always being bombarded by stimuli: social media, entertainment, consumption, food, drinks, and fleeting pleasures. These distractions pull us away from our center, from our true energy, and lead us down a path of compulsion and dependence. Every time you give in to the desire for instant gratification, whether through masturbation or engaging in other instant pleasure activities, your vital energy is released, without purpose, without awareness, without direction. It may seem harmless, but in reality, it's draining your inner power. When you use your energy without purpose, you miss the chance to direct that force to grow, create, and evolve. And the worst part is that this doesn't just happen on the physical level. When you waste your vital energy, it affects your mental and emotional state. Your mind becomes fragmented, unable to focus or sustain prolonged attention. Your emotions become more intense and uncontrollable. You lose touch with your intuition, with your inner wisdom, and start acting more impulsively, without clarity. This energy doesn't disappear. It disperses and weakens, and with it, you lose something very precious: your presence. Have you noticed how some men enter a room and, without saying a word, everyone around them feels their presence? They exude confidence, focus, and energy. This isn't magic. This is the result of a man who has learned to control and channel his vital energy now. Imagine having the power to regain control over this fire, to channel it into something greater than yourself. When you decide to stop giving in to these impulses of instant pleasure, you begin to feel something different. Your energy no longer disperses. Instead, it starts to concentrate and strengthen. This isn't just a feeling, it's a fact. The vital energy that was once thrown away now accumulates and rises. And what happens when this energy begins to accumulate consciously? It starts to move through your energy centers, purifying the body and awakening the mind. In many spiritual traditions, this energy is called Kundalini. It's seen as a dormant force that, when activated, rises up the spine, illuminating each energy center along the way. This ascent brings mental clarity, focus, and, above all, spiritual connection. But for this energy to rise, it needs direction. It's not enough to just retain the energy. You must channel it toward a greater purpose. Ancient masters, like yogis, Taoists, and alchemists, knew this. They used specific practices: breathing, meditation, and movement to guide this energy and prevent it from dissipating aimlessly. The practice of channeling this energy toward something greater can be a simple daily exercise, a mindful walk, focused meditation, or even creating something new, like a project or an art piece. The secret is that by directing this energy towards something that elevates you, you begin to access deeper levels of clarity and power. This is something modern society doesn't want you to know, because people who are conscious of their vital energy are independent, powerful, and, most importantly, free. Scientific research has started to confirm what spiritual masters have known for millennia. Retaining sexual energy can increase dopamine, serotonin, and even testosterone levels. It can also improve cognitive clarity, focus, and vitality. And the best part, when you start transmuting this energy, your body and mind reorganize. You become more present, more aligned with your mission, with your true nature. When you begin to retain and channel this energy, the changes start to reflect in all aspects of your life. Your presence becomes stronger, your gaze more intense, and the way the world reacts to you begins to change. Distractions decrease. People notice your energy even before you speak. You no longer need to seek attention because your energy attracts everything you desire now. I want to hear from you. Have you noticed how your energy can affect your life in ways you may not even realize? How has your journey been in dealing with these impulses, and how has it impacted your presence and focus? Share your experience or questions in the comments. I'm here to listen and, perhaps, help you take the next step. Let's explore this path of transformation together. Once we understand what this vital energy is and how it can be transmuted to create a stronger and more focused life, it's essential to talk about the danger of energetic weakness, something that deeply affects most people without them even realizing it. Energetic weakness isn't something visible. It's not a physical symptom, but something much deeper. It manifests as a lack of motivation, emotional instability, and the constant feeling of being lost or searching for something, but never truly finding it. When your vital energy is continually dissipated by automatic impulses, such as uncontrolled sexual desires, emotional addictions, or the search for instant gratification, you start falling into a vicious cycle. Imagine your vital energy as a large fuel reservoir. When you keep consuming this fuel without awareness or direction, it gradually depletes until you no longer have the strength to move forward with your goals. And the most insidious part is that this happens silently, imperceptibly, until you begin to feel the side effects of this weakness: mental fatigue, lack of focus, irritability, anxiety. Now, you might ask, why does this happen? The answer lies in how you use your energy. Every time you give in to a fleeting temptation, like compulsive masturbation or losing yourself in pornography consumption, you are, in fact, wasting your creative and transformative energy. The worst part is that, over time, your body becomes accustomed to this quick pleasure release, and you begin to get addicted to this cycle. Your mind and body start to constantly seek the instant pleasure sensation, instead of focusing on long-term, meaningful achievements. But the most serious issue is that when you begin to get accustomed to this type of instant gratification, your ability to concentrate and make conscious decisions diminishes drastically. Your nervous system becomes Science has already proven that dopamine, the neurotransmitter responsible for pleasure and reward, goes out of control when you live in pursuit of instant pleasure. Over time, this creates a vicious cycle that drains your vital energy and weakens your ability to take action. Every time you give in to addiction, you allow a part of yourself to disconnect from your essence. Your intuition loses its spark. Your inner strength dissolves. The worst part is that you begin to live on autopilot, trapped in a cycle of desires and impulses, without realizing you're drifting further from who you truly are. The impact of energetic weakness goes beyond the mind and reaches the physical body. When vital energy is constantly released without purpose, the body is deprived of the fuel needed to maintain balance and focus. Your health starts to suffer, and you feel more tired, more prone to illness, and more disconnected from your vitality. This happens because sexual energy, when retained and properly channeled, can revitalize the body and restore its health. But when wasted, it leaves the body in a state of energy depletion, which can even lead to hormonal imbalances. Men, for example, may experience a drop in testosterone with excessive pornography use and masturbation, directly affecting their energy, mood, and physical performance. Furthermore, mentally, the energetic wear caused by addictions makes the brain foggy, leading to difficulty concentrating and making decisions. This directly affects focus, motivation, and the ability to tackle challenges. Your mind becomes scattered, constantly pulled from one desire to the next, never truly grounded in what is important. But what really happens when you live in this state of energetic weakness? It's not just a feeling of fatigue or lack of motivation. It's a deep disconnection from your original energy. When you live in pursuit of instant pleasure, you are essentially denying your creative potential. You are fleeing from your true mission. You're trading the sacred fire that could be used to build something meaningful for a fleeting flame that quickly burns out. And over time, this cycle becomes a prison. You begin searching outside for what you should be finding within yourself: external validation, momentary pleasure, and the need for distraction becomes stronger, and the inner emptiness only grows. You start to realize that the world around you becomes more disconnected because you, yourself, have disconnected from your essence. The good news is that the way back is possible. The solution is to regain control of your energy. What you need to do is channel this energy into something greater, something that goes beyond immediate satisfaction. To do this, it's essential to break the cycle of instant pleasure and start redirecting your energy towards self-mastery. This doesn't mean repression, but redirection. When you choose to retain your vital energy, you begin to feel something new. Your mind clears, your presence strengthens, and most importantly, the world starts to respond to you more positively. Transmuting sexual energy starts with small steps. Every time you resist an impulse, every time you choose not to give into momentary gratification, you're taking the reins of your own energy. And over time, you'll begin to notice a significant shift in your life. More focus, more clarity, more health, and more presence. If you're connecting with what we've shared so far and feel that this message could make a difference in your journey, leave a like. This helps bring more content like this to you and to everyone seeking a path of transformation. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to join our community. The first thing you need to understand is that your vital energy, your sexual energy, is not just a biological force, but a transformative energy. It carries immense creative power. This may sound abstract, but think of it as fuel that has the potential to move mountains if you know how to use it. In practice, this means that every time you feel the desire or impulse to give in to instant gratification, you're dealing with this raw energy. It's not about repressing or ignoring the desire, but about recognizing this energy and using it in a transformative way. Transformation doesn't happen when you distract yourself or run away from this energy, but when you observe it and consciously choose what to do with it. That's transmutation. Every time you feel the urge to give in, you have two options. Spend the energy, continuing the pursuit of instant pleasure. This brings momentary satisfaction, but in the end, you feel empty, exhausted, and disconnected. Or channel the energy, directing it into something deeper, such as a creative project, a focused meditation, a long-term goal, or even into your physical health through exercise or breathing practices. The key is not to repress this impulse, but to transform it into something higher. When you begin to realize that you have the power to redirect this energy, you start to access a state of presence and control. What once seemed like a struggle against your own impulses transforms into a conscious process of directing your energy. The fusion of science and spirituality is crucial to understand how the process of retention and transmutation truly works. Science is beginning to align with what the ancient masters have known for millennia. Sexual energy retention has profound effects on the mind, body, and spirit. Modern studies in neuroscience have shown that compulsive behaviors, like excessive pornography use or compulsive masturbation, can affect areas of the brain associated with motivation, focus, and emotions. In other words, the more you indulge in instant pleasure, the more you weaken your focus and mental clarity. On the other hand, retaining and directing this energy helps increase testosterone levels, improve cognitive clarity, and strengthen the nervous system. Additionally, studies show that by retaining sexual energy, you create an internal space of greater emotional and mental stability, resulting in more patience, focus, and presence. This is the scientific foundation. Now, spiritually speaking, the concept of energy retention has roots in many ancient traditions. In many of these, this energy was not seen as something to be denied, but as something to be channeled for creation, whether for expanding consciousness, building a more balanced life, or for healing. Spirituality goes beyond the mind and body. It speaks directly to direction and purpose. It's not enough to simply hold the energy. It needs to be directed toward something greater. This is true transformation. Now that we understand what vital energy is and how it can be transformed, let's talk about the practical process of retaining and channeling this energy. This is where the changes begin to happen, and the process is as simple as it is powerful. The first step is to observe impulses without judgment. When you feel a desire or impulse, pause and ask yourself, what am I really seeking here? What is the real goal behind this impulse? This simple practice of self-awareness begins to shift the way you handle your energy. When the impulse arises, practice a conscious pause. It's not about repression, but about creating space for the energy to stabilize. Breathe deeply and allow yourself to observe the impulse without reacting immediately. This will start to change your automatic response patterns. The key to true transformation is consistency. Every day, in moments of challenge or desire, practice this process of retention and channeling. Over time, you will begin to realize that it's not about fighting your impulses, but about redirecting them wisely. And by doing this, you strengthen your self-control, presence, and vitality. As you begin to implement these practices, you'll notice immediate changes in your energy. At first, it may be challenging, but little by little, you'll feel an increasing sense of focus, mental clarity, and a stronger presence in everything you do. This will reflect in your personal life, your work, and, of course, in your relationships. Over time, the results will become even more evident. Retaining and transmuting energy goes beyond spiritual practice. It transforms your life, bringing greater purpose and direction, and helping you achieve a level of self-mastery you never imagined possible. We've reached the end of this video, and the journey we've started together is just beginning. The practice of retaining and channeling vital energy is a powerful key to unlocking your potential and transforming not only your body and mind, but also the way you interact with the world. Remember, true transformation is not about fighting your desires, but channeling that energy into something greater, something that elevates and strengthens you. The path to regaining control over your energy and living with purpose is ongoing, but with every step, you'll be more focused, present, and aligned with your true essence. This journey is yours, and the power to change is in your hands. Thank you so much for watching. If this content resonated with you and made sense in your life, don't forget to subscribe to the Neuro Alchemy channel. By becoming part of our community, you'll continue to explore practical paths to self-mastery, personal development, and spiritual transformation. We'll see you in the next video, where we'll bring more insights, practices, and knowledge that will help you awaken the power within you. Stay tuned, and until the next chapter of this journey of self-discovery and evolution.